to all you volleyball fans. My name is Keith. I am sitting here in the big, beautiful K-Smack Video Studios, which are located in the city of Mississauga, which is in Ontario, Canada. And yes, I'm here to talk about volleyball. Well, today I want to discuss a topic of interest to everybody. I want to talk about the various skill levels that leagues and tournaments use when describing players and teams, that kind of stuff. Oh, first of all, some history. Oh, graphics guy, give me a square. No, that's not a square. Okay, here we go. Okay, when I first moved to the province of Ontario, skill levels were pretty simple. The bottom level was C, the middle level was B, and the top level was A. And in fact, Americans use that standard today. In fact, they even throw in a double B level, which we've never had here in Canada, but it seems to be pretty popular in the States. But here in Canada, when a tournament organizer decided they wanted to boost the sound of their tournament, make it sound really impressive, they used the term double A or even triple A. So here in Canada, it was C, B, A, double A, triple A, quadruple A, multiple A's, and that was it. It was like that for quite a few years. And then in the late 1990s, we got this influx of leagues called the Sport and Social Clubs. When they came into existence, they coined their own terms for skill levels. So C level was replaced with the word recreational. B level was replaced with the word intermediate, and A level was replaced with the word competitive. And those are the names that kind of stuck. In fact, if you want to boost the sound of your tournament, you called it elite. Elite was the high level. And then they come up with this other term I don't like. I still don't like it. It's called advanced. And no one knows what that means. So it could be advanced from recreational or advanced from intermediate. Some leagues use it in both cases, whatever, it's confusing. And then, of course, there's thrown into the mix, some leagues actually just say semi-competitive. Semi-competitive. I like to use the word intermediate plus. That kind of sounds like, hey, that should be between intermediate and competitive. But anyway, using the actual words, they're ambiguous. They have other meanings, and they're not the best words to describe a skill level because they don't really set in stone anything. But anyway, here we go. It's present day now, and those league names, well, as far as skill levels go, are still being used. And people pretty much are used to it for tournaments and leagues and stuff like that. Anyway, but there's a problem. Here's the big problem, of course. It's never been defined what they are, what the skill levels are. No one's sat down and written it out and say these are the criteria for certain skill levels. Now, let's say generally it is assumed that if you play recreational, it means you're a low skill level, you don't really care if you win or lose, you're playing the game just for fun. If you're a competitive player that you were playing at a high skill level, you're out there in a tournament or a league because you're there to win it. That's why you're playing, to win, and that's what's driving you. And that leaves everyone else. Everyone else is intermediate, and that's the biggest group of people, encompasses a lot of players, and these are people with decent volleyball skill levels. They play in tournaments. Of course, they want to win, but if they lose, they can go home. They don't really care. They're still happy. They had a good time, and that's kind of where it sits. And those are the three levels. And and that's the thing. Here's something that kind of bugs me. I've heard tournament organizers actually say, our intermediate level is higher than their intermediate level. That shouldn't happen. That can't happen because intermediate is a skill level that is a set level. That's like saying the boiling point of water changes depending on where you are and what league you're in. It doesn't. It's one set level. And that means if a tournament organizer has an intermediate level so high, they should be competitive. Those were competitive players you're allowing to play an intermediate to make it sound like it's stronger. And it shouldn't be that way. Intermediate, no matter where you play it, should be pretty much the same level. You see players of the same skill levels playing in that tournament or league, not someone who's really good that the league organizer's allowing to play. Yeah, you get what I'm coming from, right? It's kind of screwed up. Anyway, to make it even more complicated, you can split this into two categories because you can call players different skill levels and teams different skill levels. And then now you've made it even twice as complicated, 4 times. Anyway, so you can get a group of players together with some rec skills, some intermediate skills, some competitive skills, and they're all on the same team. So what do you call that team? What level are they? Are they competitive because they have one competitive player on the team or whatever? Anyway, as you see, it's competitive. It's competitive. It's complicated. I can't even say it. It's so complicated. And so until someone actually sits down, writes it out, and says, this is what's happening, pretty much it's up to players to determine what skill level they are and what their team is going to enter in a tournament and league. And the other problem too is, even if it was written down exactly what skill levels are, who's going to enforce it? What league organizer is going to ban teams from playing in their event because they're too good or not good enough and they should be in a different level? So there you go. It's complicated. It's an issue. And right now it's left out to the teams to decide exactly what level they want to play based on their interest, or just, do you want to win or do you want to lose, or do you want to have fun? You know what I'm getting at. Anyway, that's enough for this. As you can tell, the more you talk about it, the more complicated it actually gets. The skill levels are pretty much open to whoever decides this is the level I play at. So anyway, I'm going to go now, but I want you to discuss, well, what level are you? What level do you think you are? Are you intermediate? Are you competitive? Or whatever? Anyway, this is Keith here in Mississauga. It was fun discussing the skill levels. I'm going to go now. And lastly, the question is, what skill level are you? Bye for now.